Thank you so much, Mr. Cleopas, for your good presentation on Kenya flying RABs, on the work drones can do on climate resilience. So as we are almost winding up with our TEDx event today, I'm very grateful to all the presenters and speakers who have done a wonderful and splendid job. So my name is Fred Sagwe. I'm a co-founder of Robotics Society of Kenya, and I'm also a high school teacher at Shimo La Tewa School in Mombasa. So our presentation from Robotics Society, because I'm very happy that most of our presenters have done a wonderful job showcasing how robotics and drones can do some good work. So in this instance, we want to check our one of the most paramount flagship project, or what we as Robotics Society of Kenya, we are advocating for our runners, because we want to start small, and by starting small, we want to start from our runners. And the impact should be our runners, because if they get the requisite skills, and afterwards they get the resources, then it could be, we could work on, because we have seen how the technology can help us on climate resilience and taking action on climate change. So our project is solar-powered computer lab shipping container. And the funny thing is that, which is an addition to our project, is that the Kenya Ports Authority is actually based in our coastal area, and they have that shipping yards, which we use on the same. So Robotics Society, of course, is a non-profit organization based in Mombasa, and we work with the makerspace, work with the artificial intelligence, or we promote computing, physical computing, Internet of Things, STEM, and chess education. So we are giving an example here of Kenya Ports Authority, because they are based here, and they use one of our. Let me see if the angles will work out here. So you can see from the photos here, we have different types of the ports, and our program is, we are targeting actually this shipping containers. That is our program, that we time the shipping containers which they have used. And this is a type of a container which I think most of you are aware of. And this container, what happens is that most of the times, most people can just leave it being dumped somewhere, or its use is not factored actually. So as you can see, this is one of our model shipping container, and is in one of the schools. You can see the background images of kids, and this is already, it has not been furnished the way you want, because the idea of this shipping yard is that we want to do more modification on it. And one modification is having what we call a solar based. So we want to refurbish it. And look at the sustainable goals, SDG 7, of course, which talks about clean energy. So why? Let's see the reasons. Let's see the reasons why we should have that shipping yard. So one of them is to enable. Remember, this shipping yard should be solar-based powered. And as you heard from our fellow Dutch speaker, Dr. Patikoti said, he said that we have abundance of solar. It's unlimited, and it's clean energy, which is, of course, after we do this one, we'll simply align it with what we call United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. In this category, we are targeting 2 SDGs, that is SDG 7, clean energy, and SDG 13, that is climate action on those mitigations. So, and the aim is to promote clean energy and also advocate clean climate change. That is, of course, combating climate change. So let's see the problem statement. One, the reason why we came up with this problem was to solve this problem. It was because we aim to address the pressing problem of limited access to quality education. Of course, that is SDG 4. That's another SDGs. Computer and technology for Kenyans, particularly in underserved areas. So most counties or organizations are going on something what we call sustainable buildings. They're talking about making a house building to be green, to be okay. Let me use the word sustainable. And now instead of building a large concrete RABs, big buildings, which of course would not help us mitigate on climate change or climate actions, then why don't we use that refurbished container, which is of course another advantage of it is that it's mobile, it's able to move. And then we can able to access those rural kids who are there and yearning to have access to technology and education. And then we compact we narrow what we call the digital gap. We narrow the digital divide. So by utilizing this, we are also narrowing the digital divide, which of course is affecting the most rural areas here. So the high cost of traditional computer labs. I know most they're empowered. You see, you look at the consensus levels, organizations, most of them are trying to mitigate this effect of coming with the computer lab. But their approach is traditional. You have to make a big building, which is not sustainable, in order for you to have what. And even our computers, because we want to run ourselves here, which kind of computers we're going to use in that shipping yard. Because the traditional computers also, very people know that the computers also emit some emissions. They use electricity. So the traditional desktop computers, which of course most people are using, they're also emitting emissions. So we want to use can we have a raw cost, which is raw energy saving computer to be put in that same container. So we leave the traditional approach of building ICT labs and we adapt the modern one. And then also the environmental impact of traditional computers. So what is the most beautiful thing about this project? It's scalability. It's a replica. You can scale up this project in any other place in Kenya. It is not hindered by distance or geographical considerations. There's no geographical barriers for this kind of project. So, and you can scale it everywhere in Kenya. And then fundamentally, it's also, we have, as I repeat, is that it supports the United Nations goals. Of course, we have seen now the fundamental SDG 13, which is climate action, SDG 7, that is clean energy, and of course, SDG 4, that is quality education, via empowering on technology. And we have seen that technology as a way to play in combating climate change or having climate mitigation efforts. And remember that this is something which is based on robotics. So we, of course, the Kenya Flying Labs is here. We have also talking about the climate networks, robotics network over there. We could have see that we can have something like a collaboration, even doing some tutorage for the runners who will be there, even if it's virtual training. So for them to can know how to handle, for example, the drones and robots, because it's possible for them. If you have such kind of a shipping yard, it's possible for you to you can create, not actually create. You can of course do a prototype. It's able for you to even to assemble or get some kind of training on getting the drones and robots and their effects and how can they be used for, as we saw from the other speaker, that they can do also their forestation. Now benefits. It's sustainable, it's cost effective, durable, and portable. Those are the 4 fundamental things, as you can see from the board. That is one of the best advantages of this one. I repeat that they are sustainable, cost effective, durable, and portable. And what's the innovation? What's the reason of the innovation? And we said that our aim was to build a low-cost, energy-efficient, solar-powered computer lab shipping container for Kenyan analysts. So that's the most important thing. It should be low-cost. By utilizing the shipping yard, we are able to get that one. And then also we have talked about energy. This should be energy efficient. Why? By usage of what? Solar, which of course is in abundance. And it should be at least in every school in Kenya. And that's our most important feature. And then we can scale it. And meaning that anyone can build the same computer for the same cost and they're using the same standard model everywhere in Kenya. And of course, we have talked about that the solar power is sustainable, and so it will enable students to do what? To enable this one. And so this is the computer I was talking about. I know most of you are aware of this computer or have seen it. A model of this one is able also to make what? A drone. A model of Raspberry Pi 3. There are various types, but these are a good combination. And this is the kind of computers which we are talking about, which are low cost, and can also enable kids to do hackerspace. They can do makerspace, can do hackerspace. They can build instead of using the traditional computers, which of course they use is more of consuming because they're using the already software which are there. So this is a good computer which can enable students to do physical computing. And this is the kind of computers we are advocating for. After making the shipping yard, these are the kind of computers which you're supposed to have. And the cost is cheaper, as you can see. We have, of course, the current one, which is the Raspberry Pi 5. But at the cost of around, let's say, forget about the shipping cost, with the 7,000, you can have a computer which can do everything. And on top of that, can enable students work for future of work. What future of work? If students work on robots, work on drones, work on AI, work on machine learning, work on generative AI, which has come here, and the other Internet of Things, those are the kind of the skills which are needed in the future. So this computer will allow the students or the runners who are there to get grasp of the commands. And where do they get it? They get it via what? Via the shipping yard. There's another one called the Pico, which is also another microcontroller, which is a smaller version of this one. But the other one was full computer. This is a microcontroller, of course, which of course does not support an operating system. The previous one is able to support even an operating system. This one cannot, but it can also make projects. So you can also make even a demo robot using this one, a Pico. You can also make a drone. You can also do any IoT, Internet of Things devices. And all this can help us in preparing, say, runners for future of work and also fighting and combating climate change. So what's the beauty of this one also? That they are also made in Kenya. And it's possible for you to buy them also in Kenya. And now let's come this one, because we are in Mombasa here now, and we have found that one of the challenges we're having here is deforestation of mangrove forest. So we are also focusing on that, on the same shipping yard. We allow the runners to plant tree nursery using plastics. So around that, each center, when you have that shipping yard, at the same center will also enable students to correct plastics. When they correct plastics, then they can also have a nursery of mangrove forest. So that's one way also running and teaching them about climate mitigation or resilience efforts. So under the same shipping yard, we allow students to, because if you can see from the link here, you can see the challenges courtesy of this Art Journalism Network. You can see the challenges which is we are having and on the issue. So this the headline climate crisis looms in Africa is the mangrove cover get depreciated. As you can see the side effects of it, and you can see the mitigation efforts. So you can see the mitigation effects of this one, and I think that is okay. So on top of having that shipping yard, so like a place like in Mombasa now, what we also going to request or empower the runners to do? We are going to allow the runners there to plant mangrove forest. And how are they going to plant it? It's just we are going to allow them to correct plastics, which of course is one way also combating climate change, do mangrove forest, and then they can also do, because we are talking about also climate financing, and even the last COP28, which was in Dubai, they were also talking about climate financing. So we can also talk about carbon trading this one. If the students, you have many schools, in, let's say in Mombasa, having this shipping yard and having this nursery for apple, and then they are selling that one, then can also show the way of earning income, because there is that provision for climate financing. So this can also bring the effect of climate financing on a school, and then allow the runners or the school or the community which are around there also to earn an income, and also which helps them to mitigate on climate changes. So in conclusion, we say that the Robotics Society of Kenya is a sustainable, is innovative and sustainable solution to problem of limited access to computers for students. The lab is also climate resilient and inclusive, making a valuable contribution to the Kenya. Okay, this was another challenge, but that is the most important thing. So thank you so much for listening to us and the issue of having a solar-based sustainable shipping container. Thank you so much.